Welcome to the Ask the Experts podcast. Here's Curran Bhatia.
And thank you so much for joining me. We have a special episode today. We are getting you ready for Friday, May 31st. It's Caribe Royale Championship Boxing and Boxlab promotion. It's going to be on DAZN. I'll be calling play-by-play for this card. And on this card, we have several great fighters, and I'm going to be speaking to a few of them. I'm going to be speaking to Curran from Armenia, 5-0, 5 knockouts. He's a heavyweight. He's going to be on that card. And I'll be speaking to the Barrientos twins. That is Angel and Chavez Barrientos, young fighters, very much in their prime. They're going to be showcased on this card as well. So we're going to get into it, talk to these fighters, talk about the card. Let's get into it. This episode is presented by Boxlab Promotions. On May 31st at the Caribe Royale Hotel in Orlando, Florida, a Night of Champions is going down as the WBA Super Lightweight title is up for grabs, with undefeated Kevin Brown taking on Idil Alberto O'Mara, plus the Barrientos twins Angel and Chavez are back in action, led by legendary trainer Bob Santos. Catch the fight exclusively on DAZN, or if you live in the Orlando area, visit Ticketmaster for tickets. I am Curran Bhatia, joined by Curran and his manager, Danny Torresian. Danny, Curran, how are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Good, thank you.
We're doing good. Thank you.
And we know that Curran has a big fight coming up. This is going to be on May 31st. Boxlab Promotions on DAZN down in Orlando at Caribe Royale. I'll be calling play-by-play for this fight. So Danny and Curran, we just wanted to get to know Curran, his backstory a little bit. What can you guys tell us just about everything that's happened to get to this point to now be the co-main event on May 31st?
Well, after the Olympic trials for 2020 Tokyo Olympics, after that we recruited Curran. We brought him over to Los Angeles, and we've been working with Joe Goosen ever since. And we signed with PBC, with Al Heyman, with TGB, Tom Brown. And we've been moving forward step by step. Now he's got five wins, 5 KOs, and we're looking to keep it that way upcoming fight. So if anything else you'd like to know about his background, please, I can translate. He understands English too.
Okay, great. Well, look, Curran, I know you're 26 years old, 5-0, 5 knockouts, 6'7", 81-inch reach. So even for heavyweight standards, a large heavyweight in your last fight, you weighed in at over 278 pounds. So let me ask you this, obviously very large size, even for the heavyweight division. How are you able to box and move, with that size? How are you able to utilize that size?
It's size difference.
Mert kan mesela çaperet or bez heavyweight once estens arak şarım ինչնա որ կարում ես այդ մարմնի բանը
Իմ կարծիքով մարզումներից եւից է որ փոքրուց երեխա ժամանակվանից ինձ միշտ ասել են որ պետք է շատ շարժվի միշտ move չկանգնի stop change.
He started boxing since 5 years old, and ever since he's always been told to move a lot and don't so that kind of it made him very athletic, because from a very young age he was always told to move, and it became a habit for him to be fast. That's what he thinks.
And my coach say, you're not heavyweight, you're lightweight, move flat.
His coach always told him, you got that. So
move like a lightweight, and that's incredible at that size. On the way up, before you turned professional, I know you fought Jalalov, who's Bakadir Jalalov, who's a large man himself. What was that experience like?
Ինչ զգացի որ Ջալալովի հետ կապար։
իր անհարմարությունն էր, որ ուղղակի իր սելֆ եղնելը, ինձի իր այդ ծախլիկ լինելը, ուղղակի դեր մի քիչ անհարմարություն, բայց դժվար բան չկար։
It wasn't
Right.
anything difficult when he fought him, except that he was a southpaw. He had a little difficulty there. That's all pretty much, but it was an experience. He was an amateur boxing. Now we're pros. Maybe we'll meet again one day. So, we will be different this time.
In terms of boxing and Armenia, there's a rich history there of Armenian boxers who have made their name in professional boxing. I'm just wondering if there are any inspirations from fighters that have come before who have represented Armenia.
Քանի որ Հայաստանը ունի մեծ բոքսի պատմություն, լավ անուններ, համբավներ, սպորտսմեններ, որևէ մի սպորտսմեն ինչն է բանարը որ բոքսի մեջ մտնես, ասենք մեկը եղել է այնց անձ, որ անձրել է
եղել։ Ես միշտ փոքր ժամանակվանից գիշերներ էր, դե Ամերիկայում էր Վիկտոր Արչինյանը ֆայթ անում, մեր մոտ միշտ գիշեր էր, ու բաբաս միշտ ինձ զարթացնում էր, որ նստենք նայենք, ու այդ ժամանակ Վիկտոր Արչինյանի ֆայթերը նայելով ես հասկացել եմ, որ ես էլ եմ ուզում լինել այնպես բոքսեր, որ ինձ նստին նայեն գիշերով։
So every time Victor Archinian fought when he was young, his father made him watch, and they have 12 hours time difference, so it was always at night times, and his father made him watch and Victor Archinian fight, and Victor Archinian has been a person for him. Every time he looked at him, he said, I want to be a fighter like him. So yeah, I think Victor Archinian was one of the motivators for him.
Certainly, and many other fighters from Armenia have made their name in this sport. You mentioned Joe Goosen, and obviously a very well-known trainer, commentator, big personality in this sport, and has trained many world champions. What has it been like working with Joe Goosen, and how did that partnership come together?
Joe Goosen-ի հետ աշխատանքի ձևը ինչ նորություն, ինչ փոփոխություններ քեզ տվել լինելով Joe Goosen, լինելով հայտնի մարդ։
Ես սկզբից Joe Goosen-ի հետ աշխատանքը շատ ծանր էր ու անհասկանալի էր իմ համար, որովհետև ես աշխատել եմ ուրիշ ձև, ու եկել եմ այստեղ ուրիշ ձև եմ պարանքներ արել, անհասկանալի էր իմ համար ու ծանրալի սկզբում։
At the beginning stages with Joe Goosen, training with Joe, it was difficult and understanding, and the pressure from transferring from amateur to professional was a lot difficult at the beginning stage. Then it became a normal thing, and the relationship with Joe Goosen. I will answer that question. How we got to Joe Goosen is because I grew up here and I've been involved in boxing for over 30 years. I've known Joe for about more than 25 years. So I recruited Curran from the Armenian amateur boxing team, and I brought him straight to Joe Goosen's gym. That was it. We started working together. And everything is great. He's learning a lot from Joe with his experience, adapting with whatever he can take and will take from Joe.
One of the things Joe Goosen said was, Curran has the instinct to walk you down and fight you in close. He's athletic and mobile, but I wanted to add more to his game. I was able to have him box more, including using more of the jab. So is that accurate as well? Did Joe help working behind the jab more and utilizing more movement?
Well, with Curran, where we see a lot of other fighters, they mostly do one thing, but with Curran, we discovered that he can fight going forward, going backwards, behind the jab, close. I think most of all, Joe Goosen had pushed Gurgen forward and into close distance fighting, which is a new thing for Gurgen. But the jab always been there. If you ever, it's natural with him. He's got long arms. He uses his reach, and he can fight behind the jab. He can go forward. He can go backwards. He can fight on the inside. So we can do many things with Gurgen as far as coming, depending on the opponent, and we can switch during the fight too. As soon as we see the first round, how we can go by round basis, basically. With Joe's experience and what we can accomplish is huge, especially with a great talent like Gurgen.
And we'll talk about Gurgen's next test coming up May 31st. But before I do, I just wanted to ask, I'm sure that you are an interested observer on the heavyweight championship of the world between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. And we had, of course, the seismic shift of Usyk now being the undisputed champion at heavyweight. Any thoughts on that fight? And obviously this would be way down the line, but at any point, would Gurgen want to challenge himself against either Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk?
Առաջին ինչ էր տպավորությունդ Usyk ու Fury fight-ի մասին, հետո էլ ապագայում որ մեկի հետ կուզես հանդիպես չես ուզի կամ ում հետ կուզես մրցակցես։
Սկզբի համար շնորհավորում եմ Ուսիկին, եթե առիթ եղավ, ասեմ որ շնորհավոր Ուսիկին.
At the beginning I want to congratulate Usyk's victory.
Yeah. Բայց իմ պատկերացումները բոքսի undisputed heavyweight չեմպիոնը մի քիչ ուրիշ է։ Ես ավելի լավ եմ պատկերացնում, ավելի ուրիշ եմ պատկերացնում չեմպիոնին։
He thinks an undisputed, in his mindset, in his thought, in his head, he thinks an undisputed champion a little bit differently than what he sees with Usyk.
Ես ուզում եմ որ չեմպիոնները բոքսանեն նախկին չեմպիոնների պես, ոնց որ
he wants to see the champions fight like the champions before.
Ես շատ մարդկանց կարծիքներ եմ լսել բոքսի աշխարհից ու բոքսի աշխարհից դուրս, ովքեր որ այդ ֆայթից հետո ասել են այդ ֆայթը ցանցրալի ֆայթ էր.
He says I've heard with a lot of people who have knowledge in boxing and people who don't have knowledge in boxing being involved in boxing and being outside of boxing, that they've heard that it was a boring fight for many of the fans.
So you would have liked to see more output from either fighter, more action, knockdowns, things like that. Is that what you mean by that?
Ավելի շատ բան տեսնել, ասենք
ավելի շատ բոքսի ուզում տեսնել, որտեղ տեսնել որ կռիվ կա, distance կա.
There was a fight, there was a distance. He wanted to see more action, more punching, more boxing skills.
TKO, KO, I don't like. I like boxing. 12 round plus boxing class.
He wants to see an undisputed heavyweight champion to be more of a boxer than see a fight game like if I could, I like to pick the brain up a little bit.
Well, certainly Usyk displayed brilliant boxing ability and power, almost knocking out Fury in that 9th round. A brilliant fight all around. So let's talk about your next test, and this is going to be on May 31st. You're going to be taking on Luis Pascual, who is going to have the experience edge in this fight. He's fought at the professional level 29 times, as opposed to 5 times for you. You're only 26 years old. You won all 5 fights by knockout. So very impressive start to your career. But you will be going up against an opponent who will have more experience in the professional ranks. What do you know about your opponent, and what do you expect to see on May 31st?
Վերջը բա
ասում եմ ինչ կարծիք ես քո opponent-ի մասին եւ ինչ արդյունքներ մենք սպասում տեսնենք ամբողջ
ես միշտ ուրախ եմ իզնից շատ experience ունեցած բոքսերների հետ fight անեմ
I'm always happy to fight with the fighters who have more experience than me.
Իմ կարծիքով դու այդտեղ ես առաջ գնում երբ որ քեզնից քիչ experience-ով քեզնից ցածր ես բոքսանում դու հետ ես
So I want my challengers to be with experience so they can push me forward in this game. I don't like to fight people who have less experience than me. I like the challenge.
Այդ բասկալի այդ fight-ն է ես ոչ մի fight-ից չեմ մտածում knockout-ի մասին ես ոչ մի fight-ին չեմ մտածում knockout-ի knockdown-ի մասին ես ուզում եմ երբ որ ռինգից իջնեմ ծափեր անել ես smile
I don't think going into any of my fights of how I'm gonna perform as it comes to a knockout or or anything else like that. I just want to walk down with claps victorious. That's how I like to go into my fights. I want to go and do my work and come down with claps.
And you'll have that opportunity to do your work on May 31st. As we mentioned, it's Caribe Royale Championship Boxing, Boxlab Promotions. This will be streamed on the DAZN. What does it mean to be the co-main event on the DAZN platform for Boxlab Promotions? This opportunity, this spotlight, what does that mean to you?
DAZN-ի այս հնարավորությունը որ co-main event ունես քեզ ինչ է տալի ինչով ոնց ես զգում քեզ այս հնարավորության
նախ շատ ուրախ եմ որովհետև եթե դու բոքսի մեջ ես միշտ ուզում ես լավագույնով երևաս շոու-թայմով միշտ ուզես
I'm very happy and
DAZN-ով
thankful for this opportunity. What else did you say?
Եթե դու բոքսի մեջ ես քո համար պատիվ է դու ուրախ ես
if you're a fighter and if you achieve to certain levels going forward, it is happy. I'm happy and honored to perform, and I'm gonna do my best to show my skills and boxing in the ring with DAZN. Thank you for the opportunity.
And we know that you're 5-0, 5 knockouts, so 100% knockout percentage. Do you have an official prediction about your fight with Luis Pascual? Do you feel like the knockout streak will continue?
Ինչ ես մտածում Լուիս Պասկալի հետ քո knockout-ների 5 fight, 5 knockout, 100% knockout արդյունքներով ինչ արդյունք ունենաս Պասկալի հետ այս fight-ում շարունակվի
Պասկալը փորձարու կամարտիկ է բոքսերը
Pascal has experience.
Yeah,
he's been in the ring many times than I have.
Լավ բոքսեր բայց ես լավ եմ պատրաստվել ամեն բայց պատրաստում 120%.
I am ready. I've been prepared well for every fight. I take very seriously and I'm prepared 120%.
Ես գիտեմ որ հաղթելու եմ.
And he knows, I know I'm going to come out victorious.
And we will see on May 31st, it's the co-main event. Not to look ahead of this fight, because you never want to look ahead of any opponent, but just in terms of future goals in the sport, what are the future goals? Do you want to one day compete for a world title at heavyweight? We spoke about what Fury and Usyk just did in terms of that massive event. What are your future goals in the sport of boxing?
Boxի մեջ քո ապագայի նպատակները ինչ են? Ինչ ես ուզում ես ասենք աշխարհի ինչ ես ուզում անել բոքսի
եթե ես բոքսի մեջ եմ ես ուզում եմ չեմպիոն դառնամ ես ուզում եմ դառնամ համար 1-ը
Since I am in boxing I like to be fighting for world titles become a world champion
Ինչի համար եմ ես ասում որովհետև ես 14 հոգու հետ գնացել եմ տուրնամենտ բայց ես բոլորը չէ որ ուզել են չեմպիոն դառնան Ես հիմա գիտեմ որ բոքսի մեջ բոլորը չէ բոլորը նպատակի չէ չեմպիոն դառնան
Says I went to a tournament with 14 other people representing our national team not everyone who was boxing thinking becoming a champion But
It's made-
I was one of them that I always thought every time I went to a tournament, he wanted to be a champion. So from my experience being in many competitions, it doesn't mean when you box, you fight, that you want to be a champion. Not every fighter thinks that way. And I think I'm the one who always thought since younger age that I want to be a champion.
And certainly you're well on your way on that journey. Only 26 years old. You've won every single fight by knockout. You have a big opportunity coming up as the co-main event on May 31st. Boxlab Promotions, Caribe Royale, Championship Boxing at Caribe Royale. This is going to be on DAZN. So just to close it out, Danny and Curran, what would be your final message to fans, to supporters, and why should they tune in on May 31st to get a glimpse of Curran Hovhannisyan?
Ինչեզոն ֆաներին ուղերձ հղես, որամսի 31-ին ինչ կտեսնեն, Գուրգենի ուղերձը ինչ է։
Բոլորին մաղթում եմ, որ ոչ մաղթում եմ, այլ ուզում եմ, որ բոլորն էլ լավ ֆայթ տեսնեն, որ ես կարող եմ դա անեմ,
I want all my fans to tune in and look up to a great fight, and I'm working hard for that, and I'm gonna put a great performance, and I know I can, and I know I can deliver a good fight for the fans to be happy and to tune in and follow me. I'm gonna deliver the best every time I fight.
And Danny, I'm sure you've worked with a lot of fighters. I take it that you echo those same statements in terms of what fans will see and the excitement from Curran, not just in this fight, but as he continues his career.
Correct. 100%. As much as we fight, we'll do better and better. I think by end of this year, towards next year, we'll take on bigger challenges. We're ready. We've been working hard. We take one step at a time, and we'll get there. This game is a game of patience. It will come.
And the next step is May 31st, as we said, Boxlab Promotions, Caribe Royale, Championship Boxing on DAZN. I want to thank you guys so much for the time, Curran and Danny. Best of luck on May 31st. I'll be there ringside calling the fight. And best of luck, and hope to chat with you soon. And that was Curran Hovhannisyan, undefeated from Armenia, 5-0, 5 knockouts. Definitely a fighter to look out for. He's a big heavyweight, and he's going to be in action on May 31st in our co-main event. Also on the card, we have some young talent, the Barrientos twins, Angel and Chavez, and I had a chance to catch up with them. They will be on the same card, Caribe Royale, Championship Boxing, Boxlab Promotions on DAZN, May 31st from Orlando, Florida. So here's my conversation with the Barrientos twins. I am Curran Bhatia. We are previewing the Boxlab Promotions card. It's at Caribe Royale on May 31st. This is going to be on DAZN. We have 2 fighters who are going to be on that card, and this is, of course, Angel and Chavez Barrientos. How are you doing, guys?
What's up? Everything's good. Yeah, all doing good. Just got done training.
And so for anyone watching the video of this, Angel, you're wearing the black shirt. Chavez, you're in the blue. So you guys are both young and up-and-coming fighters. Chavez, you're 8-0 with 6 knockouts. Angel, 10-1 with 6 knockouts. You're both going to be fighting on this card on May 31st. So let's just talk a little bit about, for anyone who may not know, your guys' background. Obviously, you're identical twins. I'm sure you got into boxing together. So just tell me the story. How did you guys get into boxing, and did you get into boxing at the same time?
Yeah, well, we started when we were 8 years old, and we've been boxing every day. Our dad was a big fight fan, and our grandpa, he was a fighter as well. So they introduced us when we were really young, and my dad has always been our coach.
And I'm guessing the first question I would have, I'm sure others would, Have you guys sparred with each other? And what is that like? Is it like, is it like a very evenly matched up thing because you guys are identical twins?
Yeah, when I was younger, we'd always like try to go hard on each other, but now we kind of just work through drills and stuff. Yeah, but it is good. He's the best work. Like, we know what each other do, so when we spar each other, it's always sharpens us up.
Gotcha. And you guys were born in Las Vegas born in Honolulu and now in Las Vegas. Is that right?
Yeah.
Got it. So you guys are gonna be both fighting on this card, and let's talk about your fights coming up. So Chavez, it looks like you're gonna be in a 6-round fight at featherweight. You're undefeated. You're putting your undefeated record on the line. What do you think about this card being on the zone and this opportunity and the eyeballs and everything that's associated with that on May 31st?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, fighting on TV and on a different promotion company. So it's great. I feel ready. It's been like a year since we fought. I feel like we've been growing since then. So I'm just ready to show the development from a year ago.
And for Angel, you're 10-1. You're going to be competing as well. You're going to be. It says here 124 pounds super bantamweight. So what are you? Same question to you. You ready for this opportunity and everything that's going to come along with it in terms of eyeballs, being on the zone, being at Caribe Royale with Boxlab Promotions. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get back in there. Like we've both been off for a year, so we just been training, getting ready ever since then. And now it's a great opportunity, and we got a great team behind us. So I'm ready to go in there and show everything we've been learning, everything we've been working on. So I'm excited to get back in there finally.
And Chavez, let me ask you this. Obviously, you guys are identical twins, so I'm sure there's a lot of similarities, but I'm sure there's also differences. So what do you think are the differences in the fighting styles between you and your brother?
We have pretty similar styles, but you could, we have, I don't know, maybe we have the same styles, but maybe I like going on the inside more than my brother. He likes to on the outside. I think it just depends. Yeah, we got similar styles, but our counters and the punches we throw are different. So we're different fighters though.
Different fighters and Angel, let me ask you this. I'm sure different personalities as well. Your nickname AK-47, your brother's nickname is the Beast. So tell me just, outside of the ring, what makes each of you? What makes you guys different? I'm sure you're obviously thought of as one unit because it's so unique to have two young fighters that are identical twins, but I'm sure there's a lot of individuality is there as well.
Yeah, well, outside of the ring, I'm with my brother every day. Yeah, so everything we do together, we'll go. I mean, whatever we do, we're together. Go watch basketball or go wherever we go, we're always together. So we bump heads and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're pretty similar.
And for this fight, you guys are both trained by legendary trainer Bob Santos. He was a former Sports Illustrated and Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year. What's it been like working with Bob Santos?
I mean, Bob been around our whole lives, since we started boxing. And when we started turning pro, that's when he really noticed us and signed us. So it's always good having him behind our back and guiding us in the right path.
So Bob is going to be leading you guys into battle on May 31st. Angel, let me ask you this. You're fighting on the same card as your brother. I've spoken to brothers in the past, and they've said, ideally they wouldn't want to fight on the same card because then they have to not only be worried about their own fight, but then they're also obviously very invested into their own family's fight, which is either earlier or later on that card. What are your thoughts on fighting on the same card as your brother?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we're both fighting on the same card because you get both of us on the same card. People are going to tune in just to watch both of us fight. So, but that part of it is too, like I'm worried about, I'd be want to watch my brothers fight more than I'm ready to fight, but it's still good because I know he's going to go in there and handle business, so I'm not worried. And once he's done, half the pressure's off, then I just got to go in there and perform. So either way, I don't mind.
And Chavez, same question to you. You're going to have your fight, and then obviously you're going to be watching your brother's fight as well. How do you mentally prepare for that? Not only fighting for yourself, but then having to cheer for your identical twin brother.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks for the person that's going second because they have to worry about my brother's fight or vice versa. So it's kind of tough, but once that first fight gets out the way, then it's like a weight lifted off your shoulders, and then you just got to worry about your part.
So let me ask you this. I know the card is still coming together and, opponents being set and things like that. You guys haven't fought in a year, so I'm sure you're both really hungry and eager to get out there. So Chavez, any specific predictions or anything to look out for? Do you expect to, since it has been a year, do you want to try to get some rounds under your belt, or is this a case like any other fight where you're going to try to get a knockout early if it comes? What's your mindset going into this fight?
I'm never really looking for the knockout, but I just want to put on a good performance. I want to show that I developed within that year. You guys haven't saw me, so I'm ready to show that I upgraded my skills.
And Angel, same question for you. What do you expect that the fans will see when you step into the ring on May 31st?
Same thing. I've been working on a lot of things going in there for this past year. All we've been working on is getting better, but I'm not gonna look for the knockout, but should come.
And we have this card coming up May 31st, Boxlab Promotions, Caribe Royale Championship Boxing. It's going to be on the zone. So I'm sure a lot of people were going to be introduced to you guys. Let me ask you this, and I'll start with Angel. There's a lot of boxing nowadays. It's not only what you do in the ring, but it's also marketing, right? And I think having unique selling points is a big part of it. You look at like people from like YouTubers like Jake Paul, things like that, are getting a lot of eyeballs. So one thing that you guys have, which is unique, is obviously you guys are identical twins. So that adds to the attraction aspect of it. But at the same time, I'm sure you have your own goals. You want to become world champion in your own right and things like that. So Angel, tell me a little bit about that in terms of how much do you want to lean into the identical twin part of it and the attraction that you could see two brothers on the same night, and how much do you want to also have your own legacy and make your own name in this sport?
No, I think it's good. I think it's good that we're twins, and it plays a big part of our career. But at the same time, we're separate fighters, so the accomplishments that he does is on his own, and the same for me. So, but I think it's good. Us being brothers and twins, especially. There's not a lot of twins that stand out except the Charlos and the brothers like that. But we want to go past that and be better.
And Chavez, same question for you. What are your thoughts?
Just what he said, right now it's really good. We're gonna be twins for the rest of our career, so it's good to carry that on. And I feel like further down the line, we're gonna be our own separate person when we win our belts and get our career bigger.
And that was the next question, and I'll start with you, Chavez, about what your future goals in this sport. Obviously, every young boxer who gets into this game wants to one day be world champion. What are your goals in this sport, and also just in terms of weight class? How high do you plan to go in weight, and where do you want to achieve those goals at what division?
Yeah, obviously, I want to be the best I can. Try to win as much world titles as I can. We're still lightweights at 122, so hopefully we can win a title at 22 and just keep moving up.
And Angel, same question for you.
Yeah, I said the same thing. We turned pro at 118, and now we're at 122. So once we both win a belt here, then we're just gonna keep moving up, and I see us going real far as the weight classes just because of our size. So hopefully we'll make it far and maybe end up close. I don't know how far, but hopefully we end up big in maybe 140, 147 and see what we do.
And before I let you guys go, I have to ask, because we can see you guys here on the screen, identical twins. Anytime in the amateurs or early on in the career where it's like, one of you guys is like, oh man, I'm not feeling up to it today. Why don't you step in for me? Any stories that being an identical twin was maybe beneficial in the boxing ring?
Yeah, I mean, now we always talked about it, just joking around, but we never actually done nothing like that. Yeah, nah. We could have, but nah. We could have, though.
Yeah. I could see maybe in sparring, you're sparring someone and then your brother comes in. It's like, wait a minute, this guy is just as fresh as before.
I mean, like in sparring, if one of us ain't feeling it, we'll sub in for the other one. Be like, hey, can you spar today? I'm tired. Yeah. Whatever the case is, never in a fight though.
Never in a fight, of course. So just to close it out, so this fight card is on May 31st. Boxlab Promotions, Caribe Royale World Championship Boxing. It's going down in Caribe Royale in Orlando. It's going to be on the Zone. Just a question for both of you, just to close it out. What would be your message to fans, to your supporters? Obviously, you're still building your following, and I'm sure that's going to continue, especially with the success you've had in boxing and also being identical twins and having that extra marketability. Question for both of you guys: what would be your final message to fans, and why should people tune in on May 31st?
Tune in May 31st because me and my brother, this is only the start of career, and watch us grow, and we're gonna grow fast. So I think these next couple fights are going to be good performances. So I think you should tune in.
And Chavez, would you agree with that? Would you echo that sentiment?
Yeah, same thing. I feel like we got a fast road ahead of us now that we're older, and just look out for us because we're going to come fast.
Absolutely. And last thing, if people want to follow you and engage with your content, where can people find you on social, and what's the best way for fans to follow your career?
I got an Instagram at Chavez Barrientos, and my Instagram is Angel Barrientos. You can follow us.
Angel and Chavez Barrientos, I want to thank you so much for the time. I look forward to calling your fight next week. This is going to be on May 31st. But actually, by the time this episode posts, it'll be on the same week. So it's going to be on Friday, May 31st. It's going down Caribe Royale, Boxlab Promotions on the Zone. Best of luck to you guys. Wishing you all the best in your career. And I hope to chat with you soon.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to my guests. If you want to follow us, you can follow at ATE_podcast. That's on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow my personal channels, it's at CurranBhatia on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Curran Bhatia on Instagram and Twitter. Please subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Curran Bhatia. Please check out our show on iTunes. Hit subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. If you want to email the show, it's asktheexpertspod@gmail.com. I am Curran Bhatia, and this was Ask the Experts.
Thank you for listening to Ask the Experts with Curran Bhatia.